Today we are going to start hydration of alkenes. Hydration of alkenes involves the addition of water across double bond between carbon atoms. If we react ethene with water in the presence of mineral acid, we get ethanol. This is a major method of preparation of ethanol on industrial scale. And hydration of ethene consists of two steps. First step, ethene is treated with cold sulfuric acid, which gives ethyl hydrogen sulfate, and then this mixture will be heated to give ethanol. So first of all, the double bond of the alkene will take up the hydrogen of H2SO4, and the remaining part of H2SO4 is also get attached with the alkene to give a compound that is ethyl hydrogen sulfate. After that, when the mixture is heated, then this SO3H will be removed, and the hydrogen from the water is taken up by the electronegative oxygen, and the product will be ethanol plus H2SO4. Here the H2SO4 is acting as a reagent that is catalyzing this reaction. Halogenation. Halogenation is basically the addition of halogen to alkenes. So at room temperature, ethene reacts with bromine to produce 1,2-bromoethane. So the bromine will get attached with the carbons of the alkene. The brown color of bromine water is discharged. So bromine water can be used as a test to check unsaturation. Mechanism is because the bromine is non-polar in nature, and when it comes close to ethene, due to repulsion between electron cloud, the halogen molecule gets polarized. The positive charge part of the bromine molecule acts as an electrophile and attack the pi electronic cloud, producing bromium ion. So first of all, bromonium ion is formed, which is a cyclic ion, and Br negative is here a nucleophile. So after that, this Br negative will attack on the positive carbon. The bond is broken between carbon number 1 and Br positive, and the product is trans 1,2-dibromoethane. Now we have the next reaction, that is halohydration. Halohydration is the addition of hypohalous acid to alkene across double bond. Hypohalous acid is prepared when halogen is reacted with water. In this reaction, the solvent water acts as a reactant. So ethene will react with bromine and water. So it will give bromohydrin plus HBr. So here basically we have the 4 hydrogens, and one bromine get attached with carbon 1, and other hydroxyl from water gets attached with the carbon number 2. So the product is bromohydrin. After that, we have the 6th reaction, which is epoxidation. In this reaction, the ethene will react with peroxyacetic acid, which is CH3 C double bond O, O2H. Epoxyethane is formed with acetic acid. So basically, it's an epoxyethane. Epoxy is when the oxygen is bridged between two carbons. The bond is also between two carbons, and there is a oxygen and which is also attached with these two carbons. Now we have the ozonolysis. Ozone is bubbled into very cold -78 degrees C solution of alkene in dichloromethane, which cleaves the double bond and forms aldehydes and ketones. It involves oxygen attack on double bond to form molozonide, which is very unstable and rearranges itself to form the stable ozonide. So first of all, ethene is reacted with ozone to give molozonide. Molozonide is structure when 3 oxygen will get attached with these 2 carbons, and after rearranging the structure will be ozonoid. Ozonoids cannot be easily isolated, which means that they are not stable. When ozonide is treated with mild reducing agent like zinc, it reduces. So they are unstable, not very stable, and they reduce with some reducing agent. So when they get reduced, ozonide get reduced, it will be in the form of methanol and hydrogen peroxide. So 2H C double bond OH is the methanol, and hydrogen peroxide will also react with zinc to give ZnO plus water. This reaction is used to determine the position of double bonds in alkenes by reasoning back from structures of products. Polymerization is when small molecules called monomers react to form the large molecule. So the word polymer comes from Greek language, which is polymerous. Polyo means it's poly or polo, something like this. It means many, and meros means parts. So it has many parts, so therefore they are called polymers. So ethene molecules are polarized at 400 degree C temperature and 1000 atm pressure in the presence of oxygen to form polyethene polymer. So ethene will form polyethene or polyethylene. Okay, ethene gives harder and high melting polymer in the presence of mixture of triethyl aluminum and titanium tetrachloride, which acts as catalyst, which is a Ziegler-Natta catalyst. Ziegler-Natta catalyst is the mixture of triethyl aluminum and titanium tetrachloride. And in 1963, Ziegler and Natta got Nobel Prize for developing a catalyst which produced good quality of polyethene polymer, because it caused no free radical formation and no branching. So in it more than 1 lakh monomers are involved in the polyethylene chain or the polymer. So here the important point is Ziegler-Natta catalyst, which is triethyl aluminum with titanium chloride. Now we have conjugation in alkenes. The word conjugation comes from Latin language. It means joined together. As the meaning of word conjugation show, they are unhybridized p orbitals on adjacent carbon atoms in the parent chain, which combine together making a bridge for pi electrons to move. Conjugation is found in those alkenes which have alternate double and single bond. In such molecules, the carbons are sp2 hybridized and have one unhybridized p orbital. The unhybridized p orbital bridge extend till the double bond carbon in the molecule. The double bond in conjugated molecules are called delocalized because their pi bonds move all along on the bridge of unhybridized p orbitals. Hexa 1,3,5 triene. So this is an alkene. Redox reactions of organic compounds. Redox means the reduction and oxidation reactions. In organic chemistry, we come across redox reaction very frequently. So oxidation reduction. Oxidation is addition of oxygen, loss of hydrogen, and increase in the number of bonds. Bond making of carbon with element of higher electronegativity. Methane will react with oxygen to give methanol. Methanol will react with atomic oxygen to give methanol, and after that methane will react with chlorine to give chloromethane. So these are the reactions that are oxidation reactions. Reduction reactions, the addition of hydrogen, loss of oxygen, and decrease in carbon bonds with oxygen, bond making of carbon with element of lower electronegativity value. Like here we have methanol that is converted into methanol. Okay, and after that we have ethanamide, which react in the presence of lithium aluminium hydride, okay, to give ethanamine. Stereoisomerism is basically the molecule which have same molecular formula but different structure formula with respect to the arrangement. So with respect to the stereochemistry, and this phenomena is stereoisomerism. This is also called configurational isomerism because it deals with configuration. So here we have the different types of stereoisomerism, but we are going to study here the optical isomerism and geometric isomerism. So optical isomerism is shown by molecules having carbon atom bonded to 4 different atoms or group of atoms, and such carbon is called the chiral carbon. Chiral carbon is one that is said to have chirality or the chiral center. Chiral carbon is asymmetric carbon because it has no symmetry. So it has the chiral carbon is the one that has different groups attached on the 4 sides of the carbon. There should be no symmetry. It should be asymmetric carbon. Optical isomers have same molecular formula but different structure formula with respect to arrangement in the space. It can be differentiated on the basis of their different effect on the plane polarized light when passed on them. The ordinary light has electric and magnetic field perpendicular to each other, vibrating in all directions, is unpolarized. When this unpolarized light is passed to polarimeter, it vibrates only in one plane, and now it's a polarized light. For example, unpolarized light, here it's vibrating all planes, but when it passes through the polarizer, it will make it in one direction, one plane. So polarized light, it is vibrating in one plane. A pair of optical isomer rotates the plane of polarized light. It can be either clockwise or anti-clockwise, but the extent of this polarization is equal. Such isomers are optically active, and this isomerism is called optical isomerism. Optical isomers are also called the enantiomers, which cannot be superimposed. Like a right and left hand, it cannot be superimposed. So these are the mirror images and of each other, but they are non-superimposable mirror images. These are enantiomers. Enantiomers are mirror images of each other, just like right hand is a mirror image of left. Lactic acid show optical isomerism as molecule has one chiral carbon atom. Original and mirror image. Original is like it has 4 different groups attached with chiral carbon, and mirror image has also the same 4 groups, but it is in the in different direction. So these both are non-superimposable, and these are mirror images. These both are enantiomers. An object which cannot be superimposed on its mirror image is said to have chirality. If a molecule has 2 chiral carbons, then it will show 4 optical isomers because each chiral carbon will rotate the plane of polarizers. So 4 chiral carbons, 2 chiral carbons. So like this is the case with the first one, which is dextrorotatory, and it has also mirror images. Like in the second structure we have on the right side we have the hydroxyl, on the left side we have on the right side we have the hydrogen, the left side we have hydroxyl. And we can see in these both images that they appear to be similar, but they are non-superimposable. So one is is rotating in the clockwise direction and other is rotating in anti-clockwise direction. And now we have the meso case. So in the meso case, there are two carbons, and basically we can this in the meso case the structure is symmetric, because we can cut this structure into two similar images, exact similar images. So this is the meso. In the meso case we have 50% optically, the dextro, we have the dextrorotatory 50% nature, and we have the 50% levorotatory nature in this meso case, in the meso compound. So in the meso compound is optically inactive. So this is the property of meso compound. Equimolar mixture of positive and negative form the racemic mixture. The isomer 1 and 2 are optically active, they are mirror images, while isomer 3 and 4 are optically inactive. Racemic mixture is also, it has also the same case, but in the racemic mixture the molecules are separate from each other. Like in the meso case we have the same molecule, two carbons are present, but in the racemic mixture we have the separate molecules. Isomer 4 is racemic mixture which has 50% dextro and 50% levorotatory molecules, and which cancel out rotation effect of light. This is why the racemic mixture is optically inactive. Okay. Distereoisomers are those stereoisomers which are not mirror images of one another. So distereoisomers are the stereoisomers, but they are not mirror images. Like 1 and 2 are enantiomers, and 3 and 4 are also enantiomers, but 1, 2 and 3, 4, they both are distereomers of each other. The structure 3 and 4 are not mirror images of structure 1 and 2. Structure 3 and 4 are distereomers of structure 1 and 2. Okay. Optical activity can also be shown by substitutory cyclic compound because they have asymmetric carbon. We take the example of 2-aminocyclohexanol. The optical activity of a substance measured by instrument called polarimeter. A solution of known concentration of that substance is fed into polarimeter. Degree of rotation of polarized light by the substance determined. In this way, the optical active and optically active compound is measured. So the device that is used to measure it is a polarimeter, and degree of rotation is determined by it. Now we have the metric isomerism. Metric isomerism is basically cis-trans isomerism, and is shown by the unsaturated compounds or the cyclic compounds. And this arises due to the restricted rotation of atoms. A molecule can show geometric isomerism if it has different atoms or group of atoms bonded to carbon-carbon double bond. If the same groups are present on the same side, the isomer is called the cis isomer. Like cis is the Latin word which means same side. The other isomer which has the same group on the opposite side of double bond are called the trans isomers. Like we have the cis-butene. Here the CH3 and both the CH3 are present on the same sides of carbons. And trans-butene, when the alkyl group is present on the opposite sides. So in the second case we have cis-1,3 dimethyl cyclopentane, and in the second method trans, because the one CH3 is inside the plane and one CH3 is outside the plane. So it is transformed. Okay, same is the case with cis 1,2 dimethyl cyclopropane and trans 1,2 dimethyl cyclopropane. Geometric isomerism is not shown by propene, but-1-ene, pent-1-ene, as they all have similar atoms bonded to carbon-carbon double bond. Similarly, 1,1-dimethyl cyclopropane cannot show geometric isomerism because it has same groups of atoms on the same carbon atom. So when the same groups are attached with the same carbon atom, or they all have same atoms bonded to carbon-carbon double bond, so these kind of compound doesn't show geometric isomerism. Geometric isomerism is only shown by those compounds that have different groups attached with both carbon atoms. In cyclic compound, the groups considered for geometric isomerism at different carbon atoms may be 1 and 2 and 1 and 3. Remember that geometric isomers can be interconverted with one another by heating, which breaks the pi bond, changes the isomer into another one following by cooling. So they are interconverted, and the isomers can also change from one form to another form by cooling. So that's all with this chapter. Thank you for listening.